Good evening guys, welcome to tonight's flight as we're going to be doing a lovely special one with the 737-600 series tonight. And as you can see, we're going with the SAS Scandinavian Airlines, flying out to Helsinki, and we're going to be taking it in for runway 09 left on the ILS into London Heathrow Airport. So it should be a very nice flight. We've got this nice 600, looks like a nice classic. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys, and leave the comments down below if you like this aircraft, enjoy the flight. So what we can do now is we can get inside the cockpit and start her up, as we've got some nice orange dials on our MCP. So let's get in there and start this lovely aircraft up. Okay, so right now, as you can see, that's just the autopilot. So what we can do right now is we'll go into our overhead, as we are now in the cockpit, put our battery on a guarded standby power on, a ground power also. You go to bat and ground power, go ahead and switch the iris to nav, put our panel lights on. We can then arm the emergency lights, put our chimes on with the seat belts, turn our window heat on along with our probe heat, which we can test. Then we'll shove the APU on with our one pump. After that, we'll go ahead and put our electrics on with our trim air. We can turn our packs on also and put the APU bleed on when it comes to life. We'll be cruising for an altitude of 340. At London Heathrow, we've got an elevation of 80. So we'll leave that at the best part of 100. Turn our collision lights on. And now we can go underneath and get the aircraft all set up under the hood. So let's go ahead, and we've got our panel lights on now. So we'll go in and we'll get the ATIS for the airport. So Echo Foxtrot Hotel Kilo. Send that off. Then we'll go into our initial. Set up our position. So Echo Foxtrot Hotel Kilo. Shove that in there. That will set us all aligned. Then we're going to be going to London Heathrow. Like so. Going to be departing from runway 22 left. And then from 22 left, we are going to basically take the route in as follows. So we're going to go direct to Nanto. Then from Nanto, we're going to take the Yankee 639. 369, sorry. Which is then going to take us to Recto. From there, we'll take the direct to Demir. Then from Demir, we'll take the November 872, which is going to then take us to Quebec. Then from Quebec, we are then going to take direct to Pam. And then from Pam, we are going to go the Lima 980. Which will then take us to Exemen. And then we've got the direct, and I want to go to Southampton. So we'll put in Southampton here. Got the 11335 BOR for Southampton, and then what we can do is that will set us up for our arrival as we come in on the Tom to Charlie, and we take the ILS 09, put the glide slope on, and we'll transition away from Cholton. So we can activate that now, and now we can go ahead and do our. Okay, so now we can go ahead and do our perf. So put that in as follows. We've got a reserve of 1, we've got a cost of 38, going for a flight level of 340, take our N1 limit, which will be max. We'll do a flaps 5, which is a 130, 132 and a 144, so we can put that in now. That's fine, that was just earlier on. So we've got 144, lovely orange dials, love it. 340 on the altitude. There we go. And we can arm the flight directors and the auto throttle, which is all set. Put our max bank to max. Now we'll switch over. So we'll go to the APU gen, we'll turn our yaw dampers off, get our pumps all ready to go, turn our runway turn-offs off, as I think it just stayed from the flight before, where I was just testing out the 600, as the 600 did have some problems before, but now it seems to sort itself. So everything on here on the panels are all good and set to go. We're going over to the APU gen, so we'll tool the tug and get ready to leave. Okay, so right now we are all set to go. So we'll put the auto brake to auto. We'll go ahead and turn our packs off, put the yaw damper on. Everything else is all set. So what we can now do is release the parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and we'll start engine number 2. Okay, what we can do now is we'll go ahead onto engine number 1. Okay, so now we're just going to wait for the
operation complete. Set parking brake.
There we go. So set the parking brake, which is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Go in and get our centre of gravity as well. So for takeoff 21.5. There we go. Verify takeoff speeds, which is 144, which is all set fine. Go in and get our radio and our ATIS. So on our ATIS we've got QNH of 1022. And a 1022. Like so. Okay, see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Okay, so we're practically all ready to go. So the auto brake is on RTO. What we can now do is we can switch over to the gens. We'll put Gen 1, put the isolation valve with the packs back to auto. The APU bleed can go off along with the APU. Turn our taxi lights on, the wheel well lights can go on, and we are now all set to go. It's quite very dark in the cockpit today, so probably reshade, and it's something to do with the textures of this aircraft as well, so that's fine. And our weather was 220 at 22, so we've got 220 at 22. Okay, which we'll review. No change, everything is fine in the legs. Everything seems to be fine. We'll transition over at Southampton, then come down and around, and then swing round at the Chawton. So we're all good to go now. We'll set our TARA and turn our radio lights on. There we go. And just to give a bit more light, actually, we can turn that on to bright. There we go. That should just help a little. So on here we'll go to TARA, we're going to taxi, come out onto Yankee, and then once we come out onto Yankee then we'll get onto the Zulu, and then we'll turn around for Zulu Alpha. So we'll drop out flaps 5. Okay, so flaps 5 are there. And we'll go ahead and do our systems check. There we go. So we've got our full left, full right, full forwards, full back, and rudder left and rudder right. So everything's all good there. Switch our engines back over. So we're all ready to taxi now. So the way we go out is we'll go onto Yankee, and we'll come out of, this is the Delta Foxtrot, so we'll come out on the Delta Echo and then get on to Yankee from there. So we're ready to go. We are quite heavy today, so we'll try and give it a full power as we come out. So we're already open at 39%. We'll turn right at Delta Echo, then we'll merge left onto Yankee, go past the Yankee 2 hold for the taxiway Zulu, and then we should be around on the bend for Zulu Alpha. So this will be the Delta Echo now. So we'll turn a right onto the Delta Echo. Love the orange dials that we have now with the aircraft in the 600, which really makes a change. Next up on the list is to get the actual 737 Classic, which would be nice. So we'll come down now, and then we want to turn left onto Zulu and cross the Yankee 2. So here's the Yankee 2 to cross over and then take a right for taxiway Zulu. First time having the 600 on the channel. This is actually working properly now, so can actually test out the aircraft. So crossing over now as we're on Zulu. Go around the Zulu Alpha, which will then give us all the runway to take off with. So we'll put our trim in as well, whilst I'm sitting there waiting. There we go, let's just line her up. There we go. Okay, so let's go in and get our trim, which was a 496. There we go, that'll do. Let's get onto the runway, we'll arm the LNAV, VNAV, and get ready to come out. bearing on. So we'll take the second left, which is the Zulu Alpha. I may do a Reshade preset for this 600 specifically, as if today's flight is actually really nice in it. Then we'll make sure we do some more on the channel. It's nice to switch it up a bit from the Zebo, the Max, you know, but there's no controversy over the 600s, so no problems. Okay, so here we are now at the Zulu Alpha hold. Just going to come around the bend. As soon as we line up, basically level here, we'll turn on our strobes. Okay, so we'll just line her up there. So we'll turn our landing lights on, taxi lights and runway turn-offs. Taxis can go off, strobes can go to on. We've got our wings, wheel well, and tell the cabin that we are now ready to go. Okay, and whilst we're here, now we'll arm the LNAV and VNAV. LNAV will come on after we take off. There has been quite a few bugs with this aircraft, so I'm very curious as to see what will happen. I did a takeoff and a landing in it earlier, which was actually quite nice. There wasn't no alarms or readouts, so we'll find out as the flight progresses. But so far, no warnings, no things. The main bug with this aircraft was it would like to give off the stall warning as soon as you lift off, which is why I haven't used it at all on the channel. But today we're giving her a chance and letting her redeem herself once more. So everything is all ready over here, which I'm happy with. We are all set to go. Let's reset our view so we are all set. We've got our N1 there. We are ready to go. So we'll release the brake. We'll go 40% or 45% and let that stabilise. And toga. Okay, so airspeed alive.
80 knots.
Check. Throttles they hold.
V1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate.
Go up. Also do now is return the LNAV on with the VNAV. Now the VNAV doesn't want to engage. Now this was the problems that we had before. So what we'll do
400.
is we will just activate the autopilot with the, there we go, now we've got VNAV on. Okay, so there we go, the autopilot is now engaged with the LNAV and the VNAV. As the aircraft now spins around, we can wait for our flaps 2, so we go to flaps number 2 as we cross over for flaps 1. And now we'll go to flaps 1. And flaps up. After takeoff checklist, auto brake is off, flaps are retracted, LNAV and VNAV are engaged, and everything else is all good to go. One thing we didn't do was start the clock, which is now started. And now we make our ascent up to flight level 340 on our climb on our way to London Heathrow Airport. Okay, so just go through 3,800 now. Everything seems to be all good and ready to go. So now what we can do is sit back and enjoy the ride. One thing that I will get ready for on our arrival is we'll get the VOR for Sam, which is Southampton. So now the Q&H's can go back to standard, which are set. Go into our legs page now and I'll show you exactly how the route is going to set itself off today. So let's put the plan in, and we're going to go to Nanto. Let's get to Nanto, then we're going to make our way all the way down across through Quebec. Once we get to Pam, then we'll get to Deneg, and then we're going to cross over. We're going to go to Southampton, which is then where we're going to back turn around for Hazel, and then go round for the Tomo to Charlie, and then we're going to go to Chilton, which is then going to spin us round for 09 left. So when you're following the charts, it will show you exactly where you go. We could have gone to Biggin Hill, we could have transitioned anywhere, but because we're coming in on 09 left and we're coming down from the bottom, so the south, then we need to basically get over and head north to then obviously intercept west to come back on east. So Chilton was the best option to then cross over the airport and come over. And then once we get to Chilton for 3000 above, we'll then get to the Lambourne left turn pretty much, so the Lima Alpha and 34 Bravo, and then we'll turn around and get under ready for our descent down into the runway. 2,500 feet, that will be our intercept, and I'll confirm that on the charts afterwards. So now we're just passing 10,000 feet and go ahead and turn our landing lights off, turn our runway turn-offs off, and our wheel well can go off as well. Turn the seatbelts to auto.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruise altitude, for your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience unexpected rough air.
Okay guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do our takeoff cinematics, and then we'll be at our top of descent. I'll leave some cinematics for the cruise as well in there, some cinematic photos, so don't forget to like and subscribe guys, and I will see you all when we get back ready for that lovely approach in for London Heathrow Airport. So I'll see you all in a bit. Hi guys, so right now we've just basically went into our top of descent a little while ago from 340. We've now come down to 280, and well, it was not looking very nice in Heathrow today, as we've made the conditions not very nice at all. So as we ride round now to our top of descent, we will get the aircraft ready to come down. We'll be transitioning off at Chiltern, and we'll be intercepting for the localizer at 2,500 feet. Have a look at our minimums. We've also got a 280 on the barrow for a 200 foot decision. And what I want to do now is I want to put the Southampton VOR into the radios. Got a 113 35. And on the other one is a 11335. Right now we are just coming near to our top of descent. Just getting ready to hit the Southampton VOR. There we go. So it's 35 miles away from Southampton, which will then basically intercept off onto the 077 towards Hazel. And right now we are on the 246. What I'm going to do is we'll reset the MCP altitude now back to 2,500. We'll go into the FMC and we'll descend it now. So to 270. Actually, we'll leave it. No, we'll leave it. Let the aircraft do what it needs to do, because we are still quite out a bit. So coming down from 27,000 now. Got our weather on, so we'll get a little look at that. There we are, going to go over a rumpy patch. So coming down now, we could do our descent checklist. So we'll put engine start switches to continuous. Everything else is all good here. We can also tell the cabin, tell the seatbelts are on, and we can even let them know that we've got a little bit of turbulence. Okay, so now we're going to turn around for Hazel. Just descend now through 19,000, so now we can start to put in our ILS 110.30 and 30. So they're all armed now, the ILS is armed as well. So what we can do is our minimums, as we said, for the airport is 280. So go ahead and put that in now. .280. And we've got our 280. There we go, which is set. Go into the ASUS now, and we'll send a fresh. Okay, so as we come in now, just send through 13,000, and we are going to hit a bumpy patch. So the speed brakes are open now to keep our rate down. We'll pull them back in. We're just going to head round to the right for our top descent from 130, and we'll make that left turn across the airport, and then we'll swing a left at Chiltern to come round the way round and in for runway 09 left. We'll check out our weather now. So we've got our ILS, which is 110.30, which is checked. We've also got our 90 on the course, which is okay as well. After that, we've got our flaps 30, 146. We're plus 10 for a 156, as this weather is atrocious right now. And we're just waiting for a right turn onto the left, so we can start our next descent down into the airport as we cross over the end of 27 left and right. Weather is not nice right now, so if we have a look on our legs, we're not going to slow down anymore. When we get to Chiltern, we need to be below 220, so the FMC will follow all that in for us. Auto brake can go to number 1. As you put it to number 3, as the runway is going to be wet. Okay, so just passing 240, ready to make that left turn around for Heathrow. We'll go straight over. It's a little bit rocky right now. As we can see, it's not nice at all, as we're now making that descent down to cross over the runway. So we've got our barrow which is set, so we'll go ahead and do our approach checklist, make sure that is all set up, ready to go. So for our ILS landing procedure, we've also got our approach procedure. So our altimeter setting are set at 1025 and they are cross-checked. We also have our landing lights on under 10,000, which we'll do in just a second. ILS course frequency, which is set at 110.30 on both sides, which is checked. After that, we've got our V-card approach speed rev, which is the flaps 30, 146. We're doing a plus 10 for a 156. Our minimums is set for 280 on a 200-foot decision height. Taxi lights auto, so now under 10,000 we'll turn our landing lights on, our runway turn-offs, our taxis and our wheel well for free. Aircraft's finding it just a little difficult because we're obviously got tailwind. As soon as we go into that left turn for Chiltern, then we shouldn't have no problems, as then we'll come back on for the headwind. So everything is all set up now for the aircraft to come in. Landing procedure, we'll do throttle retard closed and then reverse thrust on. 80 knots, reversers can go off, landing roll procedure. So everything all to come. Once we break through the last layer of the clouds, then we'll turn our window wipers on. So we'll get a nice view outside to see exactly what is going on. Okay, speed brakes can go back in now. Just making our way to Chiltern now, as you can see. And then we'll spin our left and then come in to intercept for 9 left. We'll intercept the localizer at 2,500 feet, come down above under 3,000. Localizer will be set at 2.5. So should all be some fun and games today as we get the aircraft all prepared. Not very nice weather today, it's horrible. Even though outside in England it's sunny, we didn't use the real-time weather. We just put the storm to full blast and gave it a little bit of a show for you guys tonight. Let's see what my thunderstorm landings are like, especially with the aircraft. 600. First time flying it on the channel. It's probably like the third flight that I've used the plane. So now we can set our QNHs back to standard for the airport. Okay, so we've got the auto brake is set. Now speed brake open now. So we'll make that left turn at Chiltern and then slow below 220. Obviously the aircraft is having a hard time with the tailwind, which is now going into a sort of tailwind crosswind. So everything is all good. Not really nice, but it's good enough as we come down. So we'll now make that left turn from Chiltern. And we've slowed now below 220. And then next down fix the 183, which will be basically our flaps up. And then from the 183, do the 173 and the 158 at 2005. So by 173, we'll then be down to our flaps 15.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
As you see, weather's not nice at all. Coming down through 4009. Okay, so now we can put our wipers on. And speed brakes are armed. As we just come down now for our 3000. Okay, so make our final left before we then
1,000 to go.
shoot over onto the localizer as we wait for that to happen. So 3003.
2,500.
2,500 on. Just waiting for our left turn now. And we'll drop our flaps 5.
$1,000 to go.
1,000 to go, checked. Okay, so we're going to stay at 3,000 now until we just turn in. So once we level off, then we can start to get the VOR lock in. 183, we'll stay at flaps 5 now. Okay, so we've got the localizer over to the right, which is all good.
$1,000 to go.
So just waiting now as we get ready just to level back on track. Going to take the 090 in. And what we can also do now is we'll activate the VOR lock.
1,000 to go. $1,000 to go.
Once we get down, we'll go to flaps 10.
1,000 to go.
Once we make that left turn, then the VOR will lock into the localizer and then drag us round to the left to line up for London Heathrow.
1,000 to go.
So we've got landing lights and everything is all on. Tell the cabin to prepare for landing.
$1,000 to go.
Okay, so once we move forward, we'll make that left turn now on the LNAV, and then we'll go into the VOR. And now we've started our top of descent from 3,000 down to 2,500 feet, which is our intercept altitude. So we'll go to flaps 10 now. There's the VOR lock, which is now locked in, and it's going to basically line us up with the runway. And on our arrivals, as it says, when localizer is established, which is the horizontal agenda, and when the glide slope indicator is established, then we'll hit the approach. So we'll stay here, we'll go flaps 15, gear down. Okay, and there is our glide slope. So we're not going to get the approach to get the glide slope to come down. Wait till the glide slope comes near, and then we'll start slowly getting her ready. So we're on a flaps 15. Just wait for the gear to come down. 3 green. Okay, we are all good. And our speed brake is armed, so we'll go ahead and disconnect the autopilot, and now the throttles are disconnected as well. Go down to our flaps at 25 and start to make our descent in. Okay, now we'll do a flaps 30. Okay, just kept it on a plus 10 just to keep the window open of us coming down, so we don't go anywhere near the stall, as we have got some gusts as well that are coming in on the cockpit, and we've got a little bit of wind as well. So we'll just keep the glass open. There we go, start to come back down. Keeping it nice and stable, try not to fall below our rev. A little bit of wind. Just start to descend a little more now to keep up with the glide slope. Okay, 2 red, 2 white on the puppies. Weather is horrendous today.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Okay, keeping it nice and stable. We're at flaps 30, we've got 3 green, we've got the auto brake set to number 3, and we have the speed brakes which are armed as well. Okay, slide on now. Okay, a little bit too low.
300.
Okay, 2 red, 2 white.
200. 100. 50. 40. Approaching 30. Minimums. 20. 10.
Okay, speed brakes are up and reversers are active. Okay, let the brakes off and we'll go
80
to
knots.
manual landing and reversers can come back in. Okay, so there we are guys, we are down in Heathrow Airport. 09 left, we made it. So, just let the aircraft run down so we can get on our next turn off. Okay, so we'll pull off it. And we'll also release the speed brakes. And we'll turn our auto brakes off. There we go. And now we can vacate from the runway. So, don't forget to like and subscribe guys, as now it's time for our landing cinematics. And I will see you all after for our taxi back into the gate. So, I'll see you all in a minute. And there we are, guys, down in Heathrow Airport for tonight's flight of the night. So don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments down below, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. So take care for now, bye bye.